this economic thing that's going, and I've been describing it recently, and as like a controlled demolition of a building. You see the charges go off, and then there's a bizarre split second before the building goes, and then it collapses. Well, in the economic terms of this crash, and I would say that we are in and getting very, very closer to the edge of, by the day, that bizarre split second. We've seen nothing yet. I mean, this is a crash that no one alive today will have seen. We need to reevaluate our symbols of success. Most people do not get their sense of who they are from in here. They get it from what they think is out there, so it's in their heads.
Absolutely.
And therefore, if you are going to attract to you the recognition you want that you're an okay person to feed your insecurity, you have to succeed out there on the basis of the symbols of success that out there recognizes as success. And of course, through the media and the indoctrination from cradle to grave, it's more money, bigger house, bigger car, fame. The insecurity itself, it's chasing these symbols of success that society has decided is successful. And we forget other symbols of success. Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Do I live in a society, a kind, loving society that I'd like to live in? If we can move our point of observation from I am this body that I see in the mirror in the morning to I am consciousness having an experience, then your values of what is successful change, because your point of observation of everything changes. And it's the mind working through the body that deals in status and symbols of success that are how high is your pile of trinkets, whereas consciousness doesn't deal in trinkets. It knows they're illusory. And of course, when you deal in trinkets like that, it's the trinkets controlling you. You're not controlling the trinkets.
Of course.
The whole transformation in general is moving out of mind and into what I call consciousness, which is that beyond this virtual reality game, beyond this biological computer we call the body. And you can start to see the difference, because mind deals in structure, it deals in hierarchy, and it deals in apartness, sees everything as a part. If that's the way you're seeing life, in terms of hierarchical structures and apartness and competition and all this stuff, you're in mind. How can you get a grasp of your own life and take any kind of control of your own experience if you don't know who you are, where you are, or the nature of the world you're living in? And it's very clear to me that this is a virtual reality universe. And, this is not just supposition. This is provable scientific fact. The five senses just decode vibrational information into electrical signals, send it to the brain, and the brain decodes it into this construct that we think is outside there, but it's actually inside us. The only place this world exists, a so-called solid world, a three-dimensional world, is out there. Out there we think. But actually it doesn't exist out there. Out there is just vibrational fields. It exists in here as we construct it. This is very, very important, because this is where the change has to take place within us to change the projection, which is our conscious mind's experience. And people are so caught in the conscious mind as that's the only level. I mean, look, I can feel it. When I speak, anyone speaks, it's a vibrational communication. There's silence between you and me. There's silence when you speak to me until my brain's decoded it. And what it is, it's vibrational communication. It's not just the people that hear this information. It's the fact that this information's circulating. If you do an interview for a radio station, 100,000 people might listen to it, but that broadcast frequency, carrying that information, is passing through the ether, if you like, and is there to be potentially picked up by people who don't even listen to the radio interview, and it touches them on a vibrational level. We receive transmitters, that's what we are. People think that the only form of communication is voice to ear. You only speak words to keep the mind happy, basically to keep the left brain happy. The real communication between all of us is unspoken. The more you speak your truth, even if people are not listening, you're changing or offering a vibrational field which other people can tune into. You know, when I look at the speed at which people are awakening, it's not just because of information on the internet. It's not just because of information in my books or someone else's books. There's something massive going on vibrationally. I can see it. In 1990, no evidence. Now, I mean, please, you can see it. If you start tuning into this vibrational change, then bang, things can happen real quick. And I personally find it such a good thing, because now you can explain to people, if you have an energetic construct here, which was you believing everything was real and the system was serving you and this is the cutting edge of human evolution and all this nonsense, that vibrational field is vibrating your state of being out, and it will draw to you people, places, ways of life, experiences, etc., locations which fit your inner self, because the outer self is a projection of the inner self. So when you start to transform to another state of being, which then draws to you a very different group of people, places, locations, ways of life, etc., there is a transition between the two. This one has to break down as this one emerges. It's a process of one losing power over your reality, another one gaining power. It can happen very quickly. Between that, the old self, and all that it projects in what we call the physical experience, and the new self, which projects something else, there is apparent chaos. Relationships break down, you lose your job, you can lose your house, and all this stuff. And if you live that as a physical, I am a human body experience, then it's very challenging. If you see, look, this is where I want to go, and you realize that this is the transition to get there, then you can encompass the unpleasant experiences as just that, an experience, which you're going through to get to somewhere. There's so many levels of this, you know. It's like when people say to me sometimes, you know, tell me what's going on. I say, well, if you want to know what I think is going on, my question is, what level of what's going on do you want to talk about? Because there's so many ways to observe the same thing.